They're delicious. They're fucking great.
Let me just say this. Wasabi peas. All right, okay. So that is the opposite in terms of what we were trying to do before, which was like the timelessness of a podcast that you could tune in at any point in time, and that it would seem,
or a show or a movie or anything.
Yeah, but that it would appear timeless in terms of like, oh, we're not giving it any kind of referential political situation or Twitter trend, or I don't know. I feel like no matter what we do, you know,
it comes up from time to time.
Right.
Current references. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but if you're trying to avoid a current reference, it's still going to come up in some way. You know what I mean? Like,
I just feel like it's a waste of airspace. It's a waste of time for something to...
If we're going to sit there and talk about, the latest trend, I absolutely agree. But I think if it comes up, that it's not necessarily like a fucking sin.
You don't strike me as the type of guys that had a podcast where you're like, is the sweater blue?
Yeah.
Is it gold?
Yeah.
But I think... True? Did you guys talk about that?
But
awesome.
But,
no, I never talked about it.
No, but in regards to what you guys
white
do,
gold.
if there were, that's what you guys would be on top of.
And it's almost our obligation.
Right.
Not necessarily though, because sometimes a new thing comes out, we don't give a shit. Like, or I'm just not interested. Like, the new Batman game came out. I don't really care because I got out of those super hard after the second one. This is like the 13th in 3 years.
But if it's something that comes out that people know we care about that shit, then like they're gonna expect.
They're gonna expect that.
And I'm always on
our 2 cents on it. You know?
And I'm always on the fence about that too, because I want to avoid it, but at the same time, you still pick it up and play it. I mean, you can go to GameStop and pick it up and play it if you really care about it. It's not like the game's going to disappear off the face of the planet.
No,
it's just a concern, you know. Like, I don't know.
The danger is that if you're doing a podcast, for the most part, a podcast is like fresh milk. Like, it does have an expiration date, but in a lot of cases, that is what a podcast is. It's like
most podcasts are current news, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's
for
like,
the most part.
exactly. And it's like if you listen to it 3 weeks later, you're listening to shit that is kind of dated. And it's because a podcast is something that is supposed to be regular, like, you know,
the news
or like the
newspaper.
Right, exactly. So
podcasts can be human though, man. Maybe I just want to hear about your upbringing, your childhood.
I'm not disagreeing.
Your opinion.
We have always strived to create something that didn't have an expiration date. That was always the goal. I don't think it's a bad goal to have for our podcast, but I will say that in terms of all podcasts, it's going to be pertinent to what's actually
you're never going to go rent Entertainment Tonight VHSs
from
a few years ago.
That's the most timestamped shit in the world.
Yeah. Right.
There's dinosaur bones that are more current.
Yet at the same time, shooting the shit just happens to be something where people talk about what's going on with themselves. It fills in a couple hours because you're like, what are you up to?
That's very true.
It's a give and take. But I mean, if you can achieve complete fucking, like, this is in a box for the rest of time and you can crack it and listen to it anytime forever, like, that's the perfect podcast.
Right. And I think that
it's hard.
But I think that is the animator. But I think that is the animator's mentality. Well, the animator that isn't just cashing in on like kind of like the Minecraft hashtag trend. It's someone who can try to take something that even if it is like Leviosa, like fucking Harry Potter.
Well, Harry Potter's like timeless.
Right? No, but exactly now, exactly, it's timeless.
Yeah, keep justifying that.
But it is.
Harry Potter's fucking huge, dude.
No, it is. But I just feel like
so is Mortal Kombat.
Also, I did it because
exactly. But we were talking about that before.
Alien. I did it because I love Harry Potter.
Right. But we were talking about if you were to take what's a good parody? It's where you can take a joke from any series.
Yeah, the idea is that if you make a parody cartoon, you should be able to take the main characters out and plug other characters in, and the joke still works.
Right. So like, that is a timeless mentality. That is the mentality.
And if you understand the characters, then the joke, it hits you harder because you get the character.
The timeless joke is like if Sea Viper is riding on Guile, it doesn't matter because it could be Soundwave on top of Megatron.
Yeah. Yes.
It's still a funny joke.
Yeah. It could be Jesse on top of James and it would still work.
There you go.
That's my favorite version.
Right. But that's like a podcast that it doesn't matter.
And then Meowth is like, what's going on here?
But
James
that's exactly what
Jesse.
yeah, exactly.
Bingo.
But that's exactly what that is where like it doesn't matter what what the time frame is. It doesn't matter what the quote unquote context is. Like it will survive
Until we hit the cartoonless future where we're watching Oculus laser cartoons.
that, or just listening to Oculus cartoons.
And it's like, you're in the cartoon. Then it's like,
exactly.
These are all fucking obsolete. Fuck the whole
Even
thing.
then, there'll be a converter.
Oh yeah,
You
I'm
can
sure.
just put in Street Fighter and have that in your Oculus.
Oh sure. They'll find a way.
You know, the bottom line is you just don't want to alienate or isolate people with inside jokes and stuff like that, because... Let's move on to another topic, man.
Yeah, the last thing I was gonna say is like if like shows like Howard Stern and Opie and Anthony can do talk radio and have
Opie and who?
Opie and Anthony. It's another
Yes.
whatever. Anyway,
Yes.
talk radio.
Howard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If that shit can fly and people do
Sorry,
go back and
Optimus.
listen,
Go on, yeah.
Like if that shit works for people and they can go back and listen to that, it's
Yeah.
like ultimately it can work even if it's if it's dated, but it's optimal to aim for. It does work even if you fail to achieve that goal.
There are going to be fans that do want to revisit a ton of fucking shit.
Yeah. You can also mask shit. Like, I'm sorry. If, say, there's a current topic, if your conversation broke into it and it was natural, people won't mind as much as
Right.
going, what's
Yeah.
the thing this week? We got to think of something, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
We had a conversation where we were talking about there was a
Off
piece
topic,
of
does
news.
Ray William Johnson, is he still alive?
No.
Not, sir.
He hired,
dead.
he hired a cute little Aryan to do a show for him.
Double
Yeah.
dead.
Really?
Yeah.
He snorted too many memes and died.
The dankest.
Now that's meta.
Yes! High fives! All. Now that's
smiley face sticker
Gonna
on
be
it.
the name of this episode.
We were talking about how Nintendo. There's a piece of news about Nintendo. Hey, we're gonna have like shows and rides and attractions, and we talked about that. Like, that's cool. How about they have a general fighting pit where there's animals and children bet on whether their animal's gonna win?
Yeah.
And that came into a hilarious conversation where you just duct tape a hose to a turtle and you say go, or you're fighting an onyx and it's just a fucking pile of rocks.
Yeah.
And
Those
one
are the
of our
moments
animators,
animated that moment into like a really funny like little cartoon of that.
someone
And
will go back and listen to that.
Sure.
because
they'll
that-
take the best bits of our conversations that are completely out of context and time doesn't matter, and they'll do an animation based on that
Sure.
or something, and that's what people want to re-listen to.
That's fair.
Speaking of which, have you guys ever seen that video where a guy is like a vet on TV and people call in to ask him about their animals, but he has a table full of every kind of animal all in the same box, and all the animals are killing each other?
No.
Well, he's actually,
What?
Yeah, it's the funniest shit. There's like ferrets falling off the table and smacking their heads off the floor.
It doesn't sound funny.
It's pretty funny. And then a monkey picks up a bird, starts biting his head. He's like, no, stop. And then a dog.
It doesn't sound funny.
And then a dog starts licking a turtle, and the turtle bites the dog's tongue, and he starts screaming.
That's pretty funny.
And then something dies, and he makes the Star Trek reference when he's like, "It's dead, Jim."
Is this on TV?
This is funny to you? This sounds horrible. It sounds like a Holocaust.
Isn't it funny?
animal.
Look at him. I've never seen Chris laugh this hard in like all
That's the
week.
guy. He's so into it and happy. And he's a little skinny nerd guy. He's really happy about it all.
American TV is fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was a perfect segue.
I am a master.
I've been to Canada. I've turned on the television. I've been thoroughly confused about what I was supposed to be entertained by. And you're sitting here telling me, hold on, how many channels do you
We don't-
have
we
in
don't
Canada?
we have 4.
See?
We don't have MTV, we have much music.
Yeah. We have off. Like, you
MM.
You pay for your cable package, you can get
MM.
anything.
All right, look.
But up until from let's say 1990 to 2002, you couldn't get MTV. You get Much Music, which is the Toronto version of MTV.
I want to make it very clear that we do not have cable. We have no fucking idea.
no
So we are
TV.
not going to defend Canadian TV at all. But I will say
Yes.
that coming down to cons, the best parts, obviously, you go on, you meet cool people, you hang out, have a good time, but watching fucking American commercials is the weirdest,
Yeah,
and it's the
it's
best.
creepy.
It's super fucking awesome.
Weirder than Japan commercials?
Japan commercials, I saw some weird shit,
Okay.
right? But what we don't have is shit like, did you fucking commit a crime? Are you sure? Maybe? I don't know. Call us. Were you hurt? Are you sure you're hurt? You're not? Call this fucking number. All this weird shit, or just like drugs pushing pills in your face, and like all the fucking creepy ass things where lawyers are just trying to shock you and scare you into getting on the phone.
The best is that there's one lawyer and he's saying what you just said, but then kind of like another lawyer just shows up when it happened. And he's like, no, you gotta listen to my partner, sir. He knows what he's talking about.
This is hype, man. Just kind of like pops up behind him.
Yeah, man, this is the guy.
We'll return to Sleepycast after a message from our sponsor.
Oh no! I think something awful happened.
Alert!
Huh?
Attention!
Who said that?
I don't know. If you've been injured recently, you should listen to this.
I don't know. Should you listen to him? Probably. You don't even know if you're hurt.
Did you do something wrong? Is there a crime? Is there a dead body in your backyard? You don't know if you did it. Maybe you did. Fucking call this number.
1-800, I don't know.
Maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. Call this number if you think you should call this number.
You may be entitled if you've recently been in a crime, accident, if someone died or didn't die, if you picked something up and you weren't sure what it was, you might be entitled to compensation.
I don't know. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, well, I couldn't find my wallet, so I figured it was probably the girl that I brought home, but then I did find it. It was actually in my pants, so I don't know.
Call us now.
After my car accident, I didn't know what I was going to do. Or no, you know what? It was pedophile charges. Either way, the law offices of maybe and I don't know got me a huge cash settlement. Thanks, guys.
Call us!
So I'm driving up the interstate and some asshole rear ends me. I get out of the car. Guess who it is? My brother-in-law, Vic. I love that guy.
Call us now.
Yeah, so I'm cruising down the interstate in my 95 Honda Civic DX when some dickless faggot cuts me off. Boom, cracked the shit out of my front bumper too. Turns out it's my pussy-ass brother-in-law, Jerry. So I took that motherfucker to court for everything he had, and my bitch of a wife, aka his sister, didn't see a fucking dime because I was pretty much done with that bitch anyways. Always saying something stupid at the dinner table, talking about, honey, I bleached my asshole. It's like nasty, bitch, I'm trying to eat.
Call us!
The law offices of maybe and I don't know. Call us now at 1-800, I don't know.
Call this fucking number!
That's perfect.
It's fucked. We don't know what the fuck you guys have on TV, but that shit creeps me out, man.
Dude, my mind is fucking blown. The only time I watch cable is at bars and at cons. And it's only because I'm bored at cons and I'm drinking at bars. And it always blows my mind. Like this morning I'm watching Married with Children. I heard you don't really like that fucking show, but every 2 minutes another fucking commercial comes on. It's fucking mind-blowing.
We got the back-to-back last
And
night.
it's a constant reminder of why I don't have cable.
We got the fucking back-to-back of like do you have acne? Put this Bane mask on and just wear it for a while. It'll clear your shit up.
I'm sorry. One of the commercials that actually really genuinely upset me was that there was a commercial about women who did not feel sexually.
I was just about to say that.
That
I didn't see
commercial.
that one.
That commercial blows my mind. Where they're like, "Oh, you don't feel sexually like sexy or whatever the fuck it was."
After a certain age.
Yeah. After a certain age.
Is your vagina dry? Call now.
And they had a thing for that. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like they're like trying to take every little thing. Do you look at a cheeseburger and you want to eat it, but you don't because maybe you had one like an hour ago? Call this number because you're suffering from cheeseburgeritis. And it's like, dude, they're just trying to take every little thing that any person is ever afraid of.
Random thought.
Oh yeah, even that, and then just make that like a symptom,
And it's
that
not-
you need to be cured of.
Yeah, and it's not a 30-second, it's a minute-long dedicated infomercial.
And they got a clinic for that shit.
And the whole thing is just padded with like women like mid-50 to 60s staring longingly at the camera. Just get this vagina wet, and they're like, I don't fucking know what you want me to order. What do I call now?
Yeah.
Now maybe I don't. First 100 people like fuck.
Dude, it's like confusing and depressing because I only watch TV like once every 2 years, and you want to get back in touch with humankind? Watch TV only once every year or so, and every time you watch it again, it's is so hard.
I can give you a suite of commercials that will give you really high highs, really low lows, and some creamy middles. Is that if you watch Cartoon Network, you will see people getting hype again for slip and slides, like the brand new slip and slides, and you see kids never been more happy in their life. Then they'll have a thing saying, "Hey kids, download this on your phone. This new
download a slip and slide on my phone."
No, just like a separate commercial. Then after that little nostalgia blast of like, yeah, slip and slides. Sure, I saw my nipples off because I used it too much. Yep. But it was still fun. And then they'll go, "Hey kids, ask your parents if it's okay to download this app. We have this game. Are you hurt? You don't know? And then call this number for this app." And then it'll go to like, hey, SpongeBob is coming on in 5 minutes. And that's the creamy middle. It'll go from like, or you'll see a commercial for Splatoon, which is the most 90s kid commercial ever. You're like, that's fun. That's cool. And then you'll get to like a shitty mobile download the thing, give us money commercial.
What weirded me out and made me like, man, I'm fucking out of the loop was I saw a commercial for movie trailers and how it's like they'll show the movie and then they'll have the letterboxes with a hashtag for the movie name and then the logo for the movie on top. And I'm like, when did they start doing that? Where it's like, you have to know what you're watching. Never forget the name of this movie.
It's kind of genius, but
like, but I'm like, when did that start?
I'm sorry, but the non-genius, like the idiot, non-genius idiot part of it is the fact that they're throwing a hashtag on it.
Well, yeah.
And who the fuck besides the idiots are hashtag? Like the new Superman comes out. Who the fuck is throwing a hashtag?
The majority of the viewers.
Wow, idiots.
Yeah.
Idiots is the majority of the fucking
you've never
viewers.
hashtagged, Mick?
I hashtag all the time, but all my hashtags are like fucking ironic.
Shit.
Like hashtag Oni sucks Stamper's dick. Like, hey, did you guys see the weather
That was
today?
trending recently.
Yeah.
Who watches a movie trailer and goes, I'm excited?
After the trailer, I'm gonna hashtag this trailer.
Kids, little kids, that's who.
Maybe you're right, because I don't know. Like, you know, I know he doesn't.
What is the benefit for
You geriatric fucks are just out of the loop.
No, what's the benefit for a random to fucking hashtag something? Is it popularity?
Do you not remember?
Currently trending.
Wait, hold on, Chris. I don't remember what.
Do you not remember being a fucking 12-year-old and seeing SpongeBob.com? You're like, what's SpongeBob.com? And you go on and you're like, oh shit, they got games. You play shitty fucking horrible games.
So, Chris, are you admitting? Right. I don't think that is the demographic, but if it was, I could not fight you on that.
12-year-old boys, 16-year-old girls.
Because they're more mature.
No, 16-year-old girls are always like, hey.
There's no such thing as an R-rated movie anymore, so that makes perfect sense.
That's true too.
You know? It's fucking weird.
The other thing I think when they put hashtags on a movie is because, like, when that transition, a lot of movies look the same. Sure. And you need to constantly remind them, this is Transformers 7, not 4 3/4 or whatever the fuck.
Dude, those hashtags are dead.
Every time I hear hashtags, I think of hash browns and make me hungry.
Yeah, no, I wish.
And I could eat.
I wish.
I mean, but the other
Dude, let's go get some hashtags, man.
Right now.
The other thing is that half the commercial sometimes won't even be an ad for the movie. It'll be like a little skit that they set up for it. Like, I'm like, honey, why are you acting like a Terminator in your underwear? You know? Or like fucking just talking to the Rock doing the most awkward interview for San Andreas and shit.
Yeah.
Like, where's the movies?
Okay, that shit's
What
weird. When they get
happened?
celebrities to get pulled in to the fucking weird trendy ass bullshit that is clearly so awkward. Like they
don't
hired
understand.
some quote unquote social media manager, some bullshit to like get a celebrity.
That's what I'm saying.
to
Give
embarrass
TV a break
themselves.
for like 6 months and then cut it back on again. It'll be a completely different world.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Rube Goldberg machines.
Those are cool.
If you could have
guess
any
so.
step in a Google Goldberg machine, what would it be?
The ball.
That's boring. It's not creative.
The ladle that shoots the ball.
You could have anything in the world that continues this machine at one point. What is it?
The meta.
The fucking mouse in the mousetrap. I want that cartoon mouse.
A woman queefing on a fan.
Yeah, but she has to get hit by something
To
first.
keep it going. She keeps the fan going that keeps the machine.
Oh, you're in like a psycho crazy world where anything can happen.
Oh, yes.
I'm talking about those machines that I see at the airport.
No!
I have anything.
You throw a ball into a domino, the domino hits something. Now, what's your next step of getting something gets hit and then it continues the chain?
Oh, a plane takes off and then I fall out of it and then I'm jacking guys off all the way down. before I hit the ground. And then I knocked another line of dominoes. Now what happened?
They have no parachutes. You're jacking off as many cocks as you can, like that Star Trek movie when they do that skydive.
How did you get up there?
Yeah,
a fucking ping pong ball
hit off the plane and took off. By the way,
it's because the domino like tipped a little propeller on the plane.
Now gravity is really hard to get the jacking motion going. So are they face up or face down?
Face down.
Okay, so you're pulling you're letting go and your hand's dropping down and you're going back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually when there's a bunch of skydiving people, there's also a cameraman. So the cameraman gets a little bit too.
Yeah.
You know what's left out?
That's always something that kind of boggled my mind. Not the porn shit, like everybody's fucking clear there's a cameraman sitting there with a boner, but no, when people like climb the Himalayas where they have like the Sherpas that like help them up, and they always write books about how they like climb the
how
Himalayas.
difficult it was.
Oh, we all the great odds and the ice glaciers and shit.
There's no air and
there's like a fucking Sherpa dude who like had to carry him up all the way to the top. It's like nobody fucking cared about that guy.
I always thought Mount Everest was like a magical place where you achieve your dreams and such and so on and so forth. It's not. It's a fucking thing filled with corpses, and they're like, we can't go and get those corpses because we'll most likely die in the process.
Yeah, we'll just add to it.
Anyone that goes up the Everest is like, hey, look, there's Jimmy from 3 years ago. That's
if they just left them there the whole time.
Yeah.
In fact, they're so frozen and been there so long. Sometimes you can use them as like a step, like just to get to the next like. You know what?
Just like a sonic spring.
Just a whole frozen body staircase all the way up to the top of the mountain.
It's really good because when you're at the top, you can just strap some ropes on one of the bodies and just
maybe they just leave them there for like
warning.
Not warning, but like just kind of historical purposes. But come on, man, human beings are more than capable of going up there and pulling those bodies down. I know the air is thin, but Jesus Christ, man, give those guys some respect. Maybe they just leave them up there because that's where they wanted to die.
Well, there's one.
Or that's their natural burial.
There's a famous one where you see two bumps, and it's like one is the bump where the lady fell and they couldn't go get her, and the second bump is the husband that tried to make it over to her but couldn't, and it's like you see he didn't even make it type of shit. So
wait, that was from that movie.
Vertical Limit?
No! Wow.
Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer. Where they saw the two mounds as you went across the mountain.
Group 1,
Group 1. Do you want to drop that?
No, we don't even need Snowpiercer, the movie. It's like, it's a weird, cool movie about dudes on a train, whatever. You go back, you read the comic it was based on, it's fucking trash.
Oh. But do you want to drop that?
That's weird because I thought the movie was trash, and everyone thought the movie was amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, listen.
I thought it was pretty good, not amazing.
No, I give it like a 6 out of 10. It's not great.
My problem is Rotten Tomatoes and Netflix gave that shit like a fucking 1000%.
Do not ever believe Netflix specifically.
I like Rotten Tomatoes. I like Rotten Tomatoes.
No,
he's got
Netflix.
a point.
I don't understand
Netflix. You go to Netflix.
Dude, their rating system.
You know what?
Wait, you don't understand it.
I feel like watching Aliens. 1 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah, Aliens.
You know why it does that?
Why?
It's because when you rate a movie, it's like, you'll also like this.
Mm-hmm. They're based on what you assume you'll like.
Right. So because you like Switch 2, they're gonna assume you hate every good movie.
So it displays a lower score based on what if
you
thinks.
Maybe you saw a show called
Netflix
and Aliens and you didn't like
Sky
it. And you rated it 1, then it's gonna see Aliens. You'll be like, I wouldn't like
No, he doesn't want that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Guys, I just made a brilliant joke. I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
We purposely put bad movies because we feel bad for you in your Netflix. Thank you.
God damn it.
I needed one of those.
The thing about fucking Snowpiercer that nobody knows, because you finish that movie, it has problems, right? Sure, but whatever. It's a story.
to finish.
It's done. You read the fucking comic, and you're like, okay. And you're like, let's read the second book because it's a 2-part thing. And you open up the second book, and it's like, yo, did you know about the icebreaker? It's the other train that was on the tracks way behind the Snowpiercer that no one knew about.
So there's two.
And there's a second train, and it's this other story about this other train. And they're just like, we needed more, but what do you do when the only people left are on this one train in the world? Make a second one.
That's like, hey, fuck it. Titanic 2, 3, 4, whatever.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Just have all those boats were going around at the same time. No one knows what was going on. It's crazy time.
Worst.
Pirates. fucking glaciers.
I don't. Yeah, no. It's like the movie and the fact that like it was like I like the idea of Snowpiercer better than the actual movie.
I did too. And the strange thing with Snowpiercer was, I remember like Jeff, Johnny Utah, he was like, "Hey, have you seen Snowpiercer yet?" And I was like, "Nah." And then he either sent me the file or linked me to the file. And this was long before it even hit America.
Yeah, because it was in Korea first.
Yeah, so I watched Snowpiercer, and it's got like what, Chris Evans, all those like it seems like an American movie, right? And then like a year later, everyone's talking about Snowpiercer, and I was like, I remember that piece of shit. I mean, not that it was a piece of shit. It was just a fucking movie that I watched.
No, my favorite.
And then everyone was fucking raving about it, and I was like, dude, I mean, really?
My favorite comment that Jeff said about Snowpiercer, and it didn't occur to me until later, was like, he was like, here's this world where like everyone's starving. And yet, you got Chris Evans,
and he's
ripped
jacked.
like Captain fucking America. Clearly, someone's been eating more protein than anybody else.
No, he was just really lucky, and he just ate more of those black cubes.
The rat cubes.
Rats are protein.
No, but that isn't true, because, spoilers, it will be more puke. It is... That's why he was so... Yeah.
He was a piece of shit before...
That's why he was so sad, because he did. See me and everybody's...
That's a podcast.
I'm not saying the movie's horrible and I'm shitting on it. I'm just saying it's not fucking the amazing masterpiece everyone says it is.
I think...
At least I didn't see it that way.
The most
It was just a
disappointing
movie.
scene that I thought was supposed to be in some way impressive or at least interesting was the classroom train. And then for me, the most...
that was cool.
And then for me, the most underplayed scene that I really fucking enjoyed lasted 10 seconds. And it was the assassin dude who was like way far down on the train who was trying to shoot through the glass.
The glass.
To
On the
do
turn.
while they were on the
Wait for
turn.
the turn.
That
Yeah.
was one of the shortest
That was
scenes,
cool.
but to me that was easily one of the coolest fucking scenes of that whole fucking thing.
Because it's using the idea of the train in a different way. There's like everyone just has a fight inside the one car. And
Right,
they're like,
that's exactly what it was.
This wouldn't have occurred if this was not on a train.
the setting
It
was
could only
different.
happen
And I
that
feel
way.
like all the other scenes pushed it so hard, like thematically, like, oh, this is the theme
rave
of this
train.
train.
The rave
yeah,
car.
exactly.
Yeah,
this is the crazy
This is the
rave
sex
train.
car.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
all
yeah,
touch each
yeah.
other and do drugs or whatever. This is the classroom one. This one was clearly like, dude, it doesn't matter what train you're in. This dude's gonna fucking kill you from a distance, and it was based on the idea that they were on a train, and that part I fucking did like.
It'd be really good if they look up and they see like a TV monitor in the train. It's like, are you on a train? Are you work? You don't know. There might be more trains.
All I remember from the end was like there was like a polar bear fucking another polar bear or something, and then it was like, and then the kids like clap or something.
But everyone's dead. Everyone's fucking dead.
I have a question.
Yeah, you have a question?
What's Snowpiercer?
Oh no.
You know,
Have you not seen it really?
I've never heard of it until now.
I think I fell victim again to that. It's
I'm gonna make you watch it.
that's like another one of those movies we hyping it up ahead of time.
Yes, the hype is
Like
what kills
you know
it.
what? Never listen to anybody's opinion about any movie ever again. Just
Well,
watch the movies.
I don't watch trailers or anything anymore. It ruins stuff.
Just pull up.
You
movies.
do, to a point where it's annoying, because I'm always like, dude, you should see at least the trailer, and you're like, I don't watch the trailer.
I like going in blind.
Yeah.
You're not
Just go
wrong.
on blind. Nobody's opinions and just make up your own.
There's been a couple of
opinion.
movies
Just
where I literally just heard this was good.
Yeah.
And I never watched anything, and you'll almost always come away not disappointed.
No expectations.
I didn't-
Cold turkey.
I didn't see
I
it.
watched.
It's great.
That's when the trailer for like Mad Max Fury Road, the first one, had no dialogue. It
Yeah.
had music beats and
Yeah.
action, and that was it.
Sure.
And there was the American remake of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo was like
Yeah,
1
with
minute
Refugee
long
Song, yeah.
with just music and no dialogue and no nothing. Did not tell you the story, and I would have loved it if they always stayed with that. And then the whatever movie company said no, you have
They
to.
just give you a taste, like an appetizer.
Thing, and you're just
So
like, I love the tone
I
of
heard
this.
Dark
The
Souls.
tone.
Yeah.
When I heard the guy who was making Dark Souls making Bloodborne, I refused to look at a single image.
That's the
All
right
the
way
way
to
up
do it,
until I
yeah.
played it. I didn't know
That is
thing
the
about
right
it.
way to do it.
I was so happy. Like it was like an adventure. Going
Now I'm really fucking curious how Dark Souls 3 is going to turn out.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking
Because
at a
now that
fucking
they've
thing.
gone to like the more kind of like reaction parry based,
Yeah.
I don't have no idea how they're gonna make Dark Souls 3 make
Oh man,
sense. Anyways,
I don't want to know a thing about it.
have you guys ever seen? And I'm just gonna say it once. Dead Snow 2?
Yes.
Okay,
I have.
or Red versus Dead.
Red versus Dead.
Yeah.
Yes, no.
Okay. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you did. Okay.
Watch it.
Yep.
I only saw the first Dead Snow. That's
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, exactly. The first one.
Yeah, no,
Second one just.
That's Evil Dead versus Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it really is to me.
Evil Dead.
But I'll leave it at
Army of
that.
Darkness. Big gooch.
What's that?
Yeah, you big Chinese shit.
I'm gonna fuck your butt. What did you say?
You said Evil Dead versus Army of Darkness. They
Yeah.
are the same thing.
No,
Technically.
they're not the same thing.
What do you mean?
Evil Dead versus Army of Darkness?
Oh my God, Chris, man, it's so obvious what he means.
What do you mean?
One is like the fucking prototype, and then one is the epic, like, we actually kind of maybe have a
I thought it was
budget.
called Evil Dead Army of Darkness.
Yes, but there is the original Evil
The
Dead.
Evil Dead 2.
I've never watched
Evil Dead 2.
I've only
and
ever
then
seen
Army of
Evil
Darkness.
Dead 2 and 3 because I heard the first one wasn't as good as
So,
second
2
one
is a
was
remake.
as far as basically what my analogy is
Sorry,
that
I fucked up.
no, you
Steph.
didn't. It's okay. But I
Hey,
was
did you
saying
watch
that,
the
like,
reboot? Oh yeah, we saw it on the couch. You remember that night,
What was
Chris?
that?
The Evil Dead.
Oh, it sucks.
That was great, right?
Oh, but Sam
That was a
Raimi
great
was a
night,
producer on that,
No.
wasn't he? So was Campbell. He was a producer.
What was he producing in that movie? Blowing guys?
There's
Yeah.
no way he had a thing to do with that.